Let's talk about injuries. It is said that high-level athletes can sustain 1, if not 2 injuries per year. Now, these aren't debilitating injuries that are going to knock them out from training. They're not going to put them in a cast or a hospital for months at a time, or they can. But generally speaking, athletes hold injuries constantly and may be injured all year round. Now, how does this make any sense, or what does this mean to you guys? I mean, as a regular person who generally trains actively or consistently, you might find that generally throughout a year, you'll get injured. This video is going to cover exactly what to do if you are injured yourself. Now, a little bit of a backstory. I'm Tyler from Absolute Beast, and right at this moment, I've sustained a back injury. Yes, CrossFit and injury going together. Ha ha ha, must be those fucking butterfly pull-ups. What have I done about it? Well, today I'm going to run through exactly what you should be doing if you're carrying, if you're scared, or you're worried about injury, whether it's in CrossFit or any other sport. How typical is it that a CrossFitter is injured? Oh my god. But for even the most experienced athlete, injuries are just a part of sport. How do we avoid them? Sometimes you really just can't. However, improving our technique, increasing our recovery, having professional help and proper coaching can all lead towards reducing, if not even eliminating, injuries from ever happening. But let's assume that you're injured. Probably those damn kip and handstand push-ups. Fuck your neck up. Probably those bouncing deadlifts destroyed your back. Probably those stupid ass butterfly pull-ups that made you fly off the rig, do a back, but plain and simple, you got injured. What now? Firstly, for a lot of people, I find that they go through a stage of denial, saying that, oh, it's probably not that bad, oh, it's just a niggle, I've had it before, oh, I kind of get pain all the time in my shoulder. But they're in denial about how severe this injury could possibly be and what it means for them to go into the future with training. First things first is to establish that you've got an issue. You should never feel pain during exercise. I mean, apart from the emotional and mental pain of an assault bike, for regular people, if something's hurting, stop. You've got an injury. Something is not going the way it should. You should never feel a sharp pain, a pincing burn, or tingling throughout your fingers. Something ain't right. You need to stop the fuck there and change the exercise right now. Now, this injury could have come on through anything. I'm not going to tell you how it happened. I ain't a exercise physiologist, a chiropractor, a physiotherapist, or a doctor. But what it could have been from is some imbalances in your body, potential technique flaws or errors, lifting too heavy and not earning that right to add weight to the bar, or many range of more things like poor coaching. Which moves us into step number 2, which is the first 2 weeks of being injured. Now, depending on the severity of your injury, if you haven't broken your leg or snapped your wrist in half or something like that, and it's something more muscular or possibly a bone-related injury, it could be hurting a little bit. You're feeling like a 3 to 5 out of 10 in pain. It's something that you can push through, but it's not incredibly painful, but it's still there and it's kind of annoying. Well, the first 2 weeks is very important because I always use the rule of thumb, if after 2 weeks it hurts, seek a professional. Generally, sometimes things can just be really tight muscles, some strains, some aches. Potentially you've gone too far and hyperextended that particular muscle area. So see how it feels, give it a couple of days, identify the movements that cause pain and avoid them, change them up. What we need to initially do is rest that particular muscle area that is causing pain. And we need to identify where the pain is to make sure that your coach or you yourself knows exactly how you're going to move around it for the time being. Then we move into step number 3. Let's say it's been 2 weeks, you're still getting those aches in your back, your shoulder just ain't feeling right. There's just something going on that is not normal. Seek a professional. Even though your CrossFit coach has a level 1 certification, which took him 2 days to do and $2,000 of his own money to afford, he doesn't know how to fix your injury. Maybe he's an exercise physiologist. Maybe he's a doctor in training. But seek a professional. If something hasn't removed itself, it hasn't gotten better or shown any signs of improvement within 2 weeks, then it's a consistent problem that needs addressing. Even though your CrossFit coach means well, rolling out every injury with an exercise ball or a lacrosse ball ain't gonna fix the problem. You need to seek help. Let your professional know exactly what exercises aggravate that injury. Tell them exactly what you've been doing instead. Possibly you're in the right direction. Get guidance and make sure they give you exercises to do. If they're not giving you exercises to do and they give you a quick rub down, fucking tell them to give you exercises to do. I can't believe how many times I've heard people go to the physiotherapist or the chiropractor. They cracked their back once, they moved them around, they aligned their body as such, but they don't actually give them anything to help as a solution to the problem that they've received. Get a solution so you can work towards improving what the issue is. That moves us into number 4, the recovery process. Have a plan on exactly what to do moving forward. For example, if you've got an arm injury, something that's restricting movement or causing you the inability to perform any rig work, don't get up and do fucking pull-ups. Do something else. It might suck initially, but you're not dead. You need to work around the injury, do the exercises your physio chiro exercise professional is giving you. That way, you're gonna help progress to the future. As long as you're doing within 1/9 of your overall training, you're not gonna lose things like strength or muscle mass for up to 32 weeks. Number 5, rinse and repeat. It's an unfortunate natural occurrence in life that injuries are gonna happen. Now, I've always thought about the cavemen and how they lived to what would happen if they were to sustain a major injury, like a tear, something like, a broken bone, etc. They would be fucking useless. They'd be prey. They'd be gone. So you're lucky that we live in a day and age where medical help, professional help is so big and it's such an abundance around the world that you know that you're going to get better if you sustain an injury and you're not going to become someone else's dinner. That being said, whatever the exercise professional has told you, whatever the original cause of the injury, you need to be wary. You need to improve technique if needed. You need to fix imbalances if they are present. You need to do certain exercises so your smaller, less active muscles are activating when needed and not causing your massive big muscles to get hurt. Things like stabilizing exercises are going to be super important, but make sure you're not following just your coach's advice. You're actually doing exactly what you're told, because if you deviate from the plan, the results aren't going to be as quick as you need to. It might initially fucking suck. You're not able to join in the class for the max clean and jerk or snatch, but if you're going to fucking tear your rotator cuff off, don't fucking do it. So to cover the points of this video, number 1, don't be in denial that you've got an issue. If something comes up and it causes pain, stop immediately and work around it for the remainder of the session. After the first 2 weeks, if you don't see adequate improvement, seek a professional. You've got a problem, it ain't getting better, the roller ain't helping it, you need a professional to see, to pinpoint, and to give you exercises. The recovery process is essential. Make sure you do exactly what's needed, and just because you're feeling good one day, don't push the boundaries. Make sure you're within the exact parameters that your exercise professional gives you, and injuries are part of sport. If you want to improve, you gotta take risks. You can't live in that comfort zone for the rest of your life. You need to take risks to improve. So it's a reality of sport that injury is gonna happen. Own it, be it, love it. It's all part of the process.